Okay. In order to make your own blackout poem, you are going to need to have two tabs pulled up. So you should have a tab at a blank Google Slides presentation, and then you also in the second tab need to have a section of A Long Walk to Water pulled up. I have chapters 11 through 12. You can choose any section. I would suggest choosing a section in the text where um, an important event happens. So choose an important event that you remember from A Long Walk to Water. Okay, so the first step in making your digital blackout poem is you need to start with a blank presentation, and it needs to be completely blank. So make sure you don't have any other text boxes on your page. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these. And then you should also probably name your presentation. I'm going to name it Blackout Poetry. And then you are going to need to change the size of your slide. So you're going to go up to here to the File button, and you're going to go down to Page Setup near the bottom of that menu, and you're going to want to change it to Custom. So a regular size piece of paper is 8.5 inches by 10 inches. So you're going to want by 11 inches. So you're going to want to change your dimensions to that. And that will change your slide size to a regular sheet of paper. Now you are going to want to go to your second tab, A Long Walk to Water on Actively Learn. And this is where you need to choose the text that you want to work from for your blackout poem. So I've already decided which text I want to use. So whenever you choose, you go ahead and select the part, and then you can copy it, and then you're going to want to go back to your presentation. So now that we have our passage copied, I'm going to insert a text box. So you can click this button here, or you can go to Insert Text Box. Either will get you the same result. And then you need to draw a text box, and you should try to take up as much of the page as you can just to fill the space. And then once you have your text box, you're going to go ahead and paste your passage into there. And this is the time where you could change your text to whatever you want it to be. So maybe if you want to change the font, that's fine. If you want to change the size, that's also okay. I'm going to leave mine at 16 point font, but you can change it to whatever you want. And then you need to change your background color. So I'm going to click out of the text box, and you can click this button up here called background, and you should change it to a solid color. So I'm going to choose black because that's kind of what a traditional blackout poem follows, but you could do any background color you wanted to. Again, I'm going to choose black. I'm going to click done. And then since my text was black to begin with, I'm going to change my text just to a white. So I have, oh, whoops. So now I have a white text on a black background. Okay, so now that you have your passage copy and pasted onto here, this is where you're going to start constructing your poem. So this is where you're going to actually choose which words and phrases you want to include in your poem, and then you are going to black out the rest. So how I do that is I want to keep the word uncle in my poem, so I'm going to black out this phrase, they buried. So how I'm going to make that text disappear is I am going to turn this text black. So I'm going to select it, go back to my text color, and then I'm going to turn it black. And since my background is black, it will blur into the background and you will no longer be able to see it. The reason I just want to change it black and not like backspace it is because I still want uncle, the word uncle, to be where it is on the page. And also, if I decided I didn't want to have this word blacked out, if I wanted to keep it, I could just turn it white again. So you repeat that process. Remember, the words you want to keep should be visible, and the words you want to get rid of should be the same color as your background. Okay, so now that I have all of the text I want to use, I can just go through and kind of fudge the punctuation to make it look more like it's a complete sentence. So I'm going to just go through and add some punctuation to make it a complete sentence. And whatnot. So now you should spruce it up a little bit by adding an image. So you can go up here to the insert tool, click insert, and then you can click image. And if you have a picture saved to your computer, you can upload it, but I usually just go search the web. And so this just brings up a Google Images. You can literally search anything, and it will bring up a bunch of images that you can insert. But as a little heads up, say if you didn't want to have a picture that had a background, say if you wanted a picture that didn't have a background, if you typed PNG behind any search term, that will bring up pictures that don't have backgrounds. So for example, this is a PNG photo, and so if I select it and I click insert down here, it will insert it, and you will see that it does not have a background. So it just kind of blends a little bit more seamlessly with my page. So then of course you can adjust it. You can make your picture look however you want it. You can add multiple pictures if you want, and then you can even edit your picture. So right now my transparency is a little too high. I kind of want the picture to fade into the background so you can actually see the words. So I'm going to right click on the picture, and then I'm going to go to format options, and this just brings up a bunch of different menus. So if you wanted to recolor it, you could change the color of it. I kind of like it the way it is, but you can recolor your own. You can make some adjustments to it. So I want to bump up the transparency. In other words, I want to make it a little bit more see-through so you can still see the words behind there. And that's just a really cool thing you can do to add a picture but still have your words stand out. So add a picture, add a few pictures, edit them using the format options, and then you're done. So you've made your complete blackout poem, and then you should just submit this whole Google Slides presentation to the to the assignment on Canvas, and that's it. That's how you make a blackout poem.